Oh, hello. Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, where do my products and accessories come from? Not just in terms of the store, but who thinks them up? Who creates them? Who designs the many deck boxes, playmats, and portfolios that I use to store and protect my collection? Well, I'm joined here today by Adrian Alonso, what did we say your official title was? Your lead creative, lead designer, and the head of Gamegenic, correct?
Correct. Thank you.
Correct. Thank you so much for joining me, Adrian.
Thank you for having me.
I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised to learn that it isn't just Gamegenic products that you have dreamed up and created for them, because most of or all of Ultimate Guard's product line were your creations as well, right? The boulder is you.
It's correct, yes.
You're gonna test my knowledge on accessory names. The Sidewinder
Yes.
is you. The Flippin' Tray.
Yes.
The double Flippin' Tray thing.
The twin flip and
The
tray.
twin Flippin' Tray. Yes.
Yeah.
The Archive.
Yes.
Like the Archive. Everything that was the original Ultimate Guard lineup was you.
Yes, it was created by me back then, and I think these products have become standards in the industry.
I would agree. I think that for a while there, Ultimate Guard was really what everybody was turning to, and everybody was really impressed and excited to see what came out next, what they would be replacing these old kind of typical deck box designs with, because there was nothing typical about what you were creating at Ultimate Guard, and now you're doing the same thing at Gamegenic. And I think that a lot of the products that you've come out with in the last, what is this now, 2 years? Are you at 2 year anniversary?
2.5 years, yes.
2.5 years are really, a lot of them are very exciting.
Thank you. So the thing about Gamegenic and in general when we are designing products is I always strive to rethink every single detail, because I think innovation is important. It is important to have products that fit the best the needs of the players. And talking about industry standards, when I first designed the flip and tray, for example, back then, drawers for cards didn't exist. Nowadays, you think it was always like that.
Right.
But no, it wasn't. Until we brought this product to the market, and now it is something that is pretty common. But the idea for Gamegenic is to bring everything to the next level.
And I really think, in particular, with the removable flaps innovation, that it makes it very hard for me to go back to a lot of products that now have these cumbersome flaps in the way. And like you said, with the flip and tray at the time, that was really revolutionary. And now, well, next level, go out, take the flaps off, wrap them around. Is it weird that a lot of your original designs are now no longer things that you can touch, like the boulder and the archive? These were like babies of yours, and now that is not an element that you have. Is that a strange thing?
No, I'm proud of it. Now I've created a Gamegenic with the purpose of bringing everything to the next level. Okay. So that's the idea behind. And talking about the flap that unfolds and comes to the bottom, we all know that space, precious space on a gaming table is important.
Yes.
And it was always a problem for me when I was playing myself to see this waste of space when you're unfolding, because all of our products, I want them to be usable during gameplay while you are playing. So you don't need to take something out and then close the box or put it back on your backpack or whatever. So you can just open the box and use it while you're playing. That was the idea of this mechanism, this convertible idea that we have established as one of our signature features for Gamegenic.
So I have a really important question for you, which is, how come I only met you recently, within the last 1 to 2 years, when I was reviewing Ultimate Guard products way back when they first came out and giving most of them, not all of them, but many of them very high grades and marks. And I never even knew you existed until just a few years ago with Gamegenic. How come you never reached out to say hello?
Yeah, I think back in the days it was not that important. It was important to have great products out there to show that it is much more possible to develop and to reinvent. And therefore, it was not important that me showing up. I was the creative director.
But that's the most important. You think up and dream up all these designs.
Sure.
I think that's the most important thing.
Sure. But also, what I want to say here is that you were also great inspiration. I watched your videos from the very first day.
Oh, wow.
The first video that you brought was about sleeves.
Yes.
8 years ago. And then you brought like 2 or 3 videos after that, the ones for the deck boxes. And you are so important to the community. Then for us as creators, as developers of products, it is important to listen. And that's what I want to do, always have done, but I want to emphasize with Gamegenic that we are listening. It is important to have a close ear to the community, to know what they need, to maybe know before they know what they need, to bring some revolutionary ideas into the market, so their gameplay is much more, it's easier. But again, you were and you are a great inspiration, and that's why I'm so happy to be here with you today, and so happy that at some point we approach each other.
I asked you first. Well, so it was actually, if I recall, I'll tell you what I remember, because it's now over a year ago. And then you tell me what you remember. We'll see if it links up. I remember that when I learned that you had done the Ultimate Guard Boulder, the Ultimate Guard Flip and Tray, that's when I was like, oh, wow, he is, you know, a sea that touches many shores, I suppose is a good expression. And that's when I said that I had always been told I should do a deck box, but I don't want to just put my logo on a deck box. And I said, could I tell you everything I want in a deck box, and then you help actually do the design based off of what I'm saying and work together on that? And that's what I remember, is when I found out that the many of my favorite products, many of my A products all came from you, that's when I wanted to work with you on this project. Is that how you remember it, or how do you remember it?
I remember that was the second approach. I remember the first approach. It was me approaching you because of you. You're okay on using the tags on our packaging.
Right.
Because it was important for us that I've worked on the computer game industry for 12 years before I've done all of this. And it was usual back then when products were sold in local stores with packaging and so on. If you had a good rating on a computer game, you put this rating on the box.
Right.
So I got this idea back then from my experience, and with the reviews that you have produced for us, and none of them, it is always a big surprise for us to see what you have reviewed, but on the ones that we were so proud of, I asked you, actually I contacted you, if it's okay for us to put the tag on the packaging.
And a lot of people think that I get paid for that. I don't.
No, you don't.
And I've said everybody can, like, this is not, you thought up the idea, but I have told everybody, I've told every company, and I'll repeat it here again, to every company, that as long as you use the real grade I gave and the QR code so it could go right to the review and everything, no problem. You know, like I've it's like when I would watch coming attractions for movies and it would say Siskel and Ebert give it 2 thumbs up.
Exactly.
I don't think they got paid for that. And so I have only seen, I think, one other company do it a little bit, but you're doing it. I get a lot of comments about it. People like the QR code so then they could watch and see the product used. I always say that my evaluation, though, is not as important as the individual customer's evaluation. And so even if they disagree with my assessment, they can see all the different angles and tests that I do and information in that moment of the review. And so, yeah, we did talk about that. That was the first time
I approached you.
You approached me, right?
Yeah, and one more thing.
Yes.
We don't influence on any of these reviews. So we are every time surprised, and we hope for good reviews. We are pretty confident that might be good because we are confident in our products. But we never knew what kind of reviews until today. We don't know.
Right.
And I don't want to influence you on that. That's, I think, the wrong thing to do. And the only thing that I wanted to have is you're okay us putting the logo also for free. because it's, I think, a win-win situation with the distribution of our products. We are distributing all over the world our products. It is also good coverage for you to be maybe in some countries that they don't follow your channels and they find it for the first time. So that was the basic idea, not getting paid, but have a win-win situation, us being proud of these reviews and you getting more maybe coverage all around the world.
Do you put it on for any that I give an A- to?
Yes.
What about a B plus?
Also.
What about a B?
Also.
B minus?
I think we have one with B minus.
No.
Yes.
I think that you put it, but you didn't put it on the packaging.
The Fortress.
The Fortress. I gave that a B minus.
I don't remember. I think it's a B, but I don't know if it's a B minus. But we have it on the Fortress.
Right. Oh, the Fortress. Right. No. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think with that one, I always feel that's always a difficult thing for me because I often feel that it's very hard when it's just some of the more simple, basic boxes to go up there. But I think my reason was that not all of the dividers came out.
The middle one.
The middle one didn't come out, and that frustrated me that I didn't have that all the way. But I did like the Fortress B, but not below a B. You probably wouldn't put on the package.
No, we don't
yes.
put C on the package.
No.
But
no.
I don't think we have gotten a C from you. Maybe on the playmats.
The playmats.
Maybe on the playmats.
Yes.
We don't use the C on the playmats, but again, it is about listening.
Right.
And we are listening to the community, but also of all our reviewers. You are not the only one. You are the most influential one for us, and it should be for all the industry. But we are listening. So you complain about the playmats. You were right about it.
I critique, not complain. I critique.
Okay, you critiqued about the playmats. You were right about it, and we have changed it.
Okay.
On the new print run, they are no more like that.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And so one area that Gamegenic, I feel, is really known for excellence is, of course, the deck boxes. Another area, maybe not so much, is the card sleeves. What do you feel about your card sleeves currently?
We need to separate two things. If we're talking about card sleeves for Magic, for standard size cards, Magic, Pokemon, Flash and Blood, whatever. And then we need to differentiate for board games. We have also a full range of board game sleeves. So in terms of board game sleeves, I do believe we have the best ones out of the market in terms of welding strength and so on. For Magic the Gathering, it is how you address these sleeves. We are not considering our sleeves as premium sleeves in terms of the most premium ones, the most also expensive ones. We are positioning our sleeves in the mid-range. And we don't bring any product that are not, or we try not to be the best. And our sleeves, you can tell by the price point, our sleeves are positioned in the mid-range. And in the mid-range, I think we have the best ones, because in terms of opacity, if you compare with other, especially the clearer colors, lighter colors like yellow, white, and so on, usually in this price range, you can see through. You cannot with our sleeves. But in terms of strength, thickness, and so on, we are not yet competing with the premium ones. And I'm emphasizing yet.
Yet. Do you really think one day you can take down Dragon Shield as the best sleeves? They're so much the top of their game. Nothing comes close currently. And you, is that a plan, or are you maybe that's never going to happen?
I always say never say never.
Never say never.
The thing is that the Dragon Shield sleeves are very good. That's a fact.
They're not very good. They're excellent.
Okay.
They're excellent.
Okay. And if at some day we will address this field,
Right.
then it will be at least as good as theirs.
Good luck.
If we start with that.
Okay. All right.
But again, it is how you position your products, and we are positioning our range of sleeves in the mid-range, also in terms of pricing.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck. I think that competition is very good for the customer in terms of getting that quality. I think that when, for example, going back to when Ultimate Guard hit the market, deck boxes all looked very much alike. There were some exceptions, but typically it was just plastic box. You had a flip, a faux leather flip box with a weak magnet was the premium. There was still the satin tower, and there was not much else. There were some other variations that did not have high quality. I don't think quality really was something. I think it was maybe, I'm just guessing here, but maybe just thought of as it's kids' toys, and it felt like kid toy quality. And then when your Ultimate Guard line came out, suddenly it was premium, premier, luxury. You were paying perhaps a little bit more, but you were getting so much more. And now everybody else had to catch up, and everybody has to keep up. And I feel that that's good for all customers, to have companies trying to outdo one another, to do better than one another, not just do the same thing. So you trying to take on the king of sleeves can only be good for the customer, because it's not going to make them any worse, and maybe we'll all get to walk away with something even better.
We focus on details,
Yes.
and details matters. It is the most important thing in my opinion. It starts with, for example, the unboxing experience with our products, how our packaging is designed, so you don't need to rip off the packaging. You have like this wrapper, you can take the product out of the box. It continues on details, and you might think I'm crazy, and I am.
Yes.
It continues on details, also on the sound when boxes, our flaps close. I was working 2 long days in the factory just on the sound of the box.
Really?
It is a true story.
You mean like the manufacturing factory that makes the product?
That makes the product.
Wow.
And these guys knows what they are doing, and they were not expecting someone that crazy as I am telling them how a box needs to sound, because I think the experience is important. You need to feel the value. Gamegenic is positioned as a premium brand, but premium doesn't mean for us expensive. Premium, I have also $2 products like for example our car dividers, where we can say this is also premium product, although it is $2. Why? Because also on this product we have rethought everything. We have this flexible flap on the top, so they are actually really dividing right now. Also, the thickness is thicker than the actual ones. So we try on every single product that we are bringing to the market to have in the section, as what we are addressing again with the sleeves in the mid-range, to have the very best ones. This will be always our philosophy, to try and succeed, to address a product that are recognized as the best ones. It's the combination of innovation plus quality that makes Gamegenic so special, in my opinion.
And that's one reason why I'll be honest with you. It was you first that I wanted to work with on the academic, and Gamegenic is also you. You and Gamegenic are one and the same in many ways, but it was you in terms of your designs that got me very excited. We went through how many iterations on the academic? We did like, you brought 3-4 different iterations, different styles. At one point we were doing something fundamentally different. It was not even out of the same materials. It looked completely, entirely different. And at the last minute, I said it isn't right. I'm not feeling comfortable and happy with what this is. And just was I the most terrible person to work with?
No.
Was I the most stubborn, frustrating? I felt like I must be
Not at all.
someone who I said no to everything. I said no to everything, and I thought this guy I must be driving him crazy.
Not at all.
No.
It is the box of your dreams.
Yes.
And for the box of your dreams, when you contact me for the very first time, what we did is I needed to understand what you want. I need to understand what are your must-haves, based also on maybe some features that you have loved that we have brought to the market, like the knobs, to say something.
Yes.
So we started like with a list of your must-haves.
Right. I said I want the removable lid so that
Yes.
that there's the play area. I said I want everyone who plays any standard size game to be able to use this, so that it's not just for Commander players. Because what if you play Modern? And what if you sleeve in Dragon Shield sealable inners or KMC perfect hards, and people have 100 cards in that, and then tokens? I wanted, or Flesh and Blood, or
Triple
Pokemon.
sleeved.
Yeah, triple sleeved. And so I said, how do we make a box that will work for everyone? And that was one of the big things. And so we have that, where if you have a triple sleeved Commander deck, it will fit in here.
It is. It
if,
will.
If you have a commander deck in sealable inners, in perfect cards, but also if you are just playing modern, you can put your modern deck in here, and we have something we'll show off later in the interview that will keep your cards from falling over if you don't have tokens or another deck. Flesh and Blood, top loaders, and then that came up where in Flesh and Blood, Magic players like top loaders too, like to keep your commander in either a top loader or a magnetic snap case. That's very popular, and that doesn't fit in most deck boxes or any deck boxes. So I wanted to be able to hold top loaders. And then I said, and also people want to put their deck box in it. People want to put their boulder in it, or whatever their favorite deck box is from many different companies. And so that seemed like this crazy ask. And I came to you with this giant list of make it do all these things.
Yeah. You also did some drawings, how you would love to...
I did do some drawings, didn't I? I remember that.
Yeah.
Do you still have them? I don't know that I have them still.
I probably have that.
Yeah, we should see if we can dig those up. I forgot. I literally, I felt like Homer Simpson designing his car doing that. But that was, I had all those ideas. Yeah.
So, and my job was to advise you and to find on all the ideas and all the must-haves one box that fit all of these.
Right.
And then I came up with your drawings, with the list that you gave us, and so on, with 4 different products.
Right. I said no to all of them. Yeah. And then you looked just crestfallen.
It's okay.
I said no.
It's okay. And as you mentioned, we had also one which was completely different. I think at the end we came up with one idea that might be very, very interesting for many people.
Yeah. I remember when you showed me the Academic for the first time that I just immediately knew that was the feeling, that was the product that I wanted, that I had in mind. I think that the one that we almost went with, it did a lot of what we talked about, and it was so different. But I think that one was the box of your dreams more than mine. I think that because it was so clever and innovative, and definitely like nothing anyone's ever seen before, and it felt very you, where it was about doing something unlike anything else. And I was really interested more in refining that experience, where I just always had all these emails from people saying, my deck won't fit in a boulder. And I go, what do you mean your deck won't fit in a boulder? Well, I have all these foil cards, and I have don't even have the sealables. I just have thick outer sleeves, and it won't fit in the boulder. It's like 3 cards too big. And it's like, what do you do? Like, should the boulder be larger for just this one person? And then someone else says, well, everything's made for Commander now. I still play 75 card format, 60 card main deck, 15 card sideboard. People want top loaders. People want to put their deck box in. I would review products such as the Gamegenic ones where it's just for the cards, and they'd say, I'd like it if I could put my boulder in it. And then I'd review ones where it's just for holding deck boxes, and they'd say, that's great, but I want to put my cards in it. And I said in the review video, this isn't good for cards. They'll shake around too much. Yeah. And so how do you accomplish something that both those people want? And when I saw when I saw this, I knew we had gotten there. And I really am very excited about it. And I think that you're the only person I could have done this with. I don't know. I just don't, like, I think a lot of other people would have walked away from me because I really am difficult to work with in that regard.
No, you're not.
You're saying that, but no. I can just imagine having to work with me on that. But I think what we got at is great, and we kept price down, which was also important to me.
Yes.
It's, obviously because it's a Kickstarter, the relationship is that I'm basically buying the deck boxes, or through Gamegenic is going to manufacture them and sell them to me to then be distributed.
Yes.
So we had to be sure that there's safety, that we're not going to do what many Kickstarters have problems with, where, it turns out there were all these costs or taxes or fees that were not expected, and they end up losing money instead of actually, safely delivering the product. But I'm really proud we kept price relatively down. It's still a luxury item, of course, but...
Yeah, but it's a very versatile item as well. So I think the price point that we have is, for a Kickstarter campaign, it's I've never seen a price point like that.
Yeah.
Usually you would see it much higher than that. So we worked very hard as well with our suppliers to be able to achieve this, because I knew from the very beginning how focused you are as well on pricing. And to continue on what you just mentioned, the box of my dreams, it was actually the box of your dreams, because when I designed it, I just took all your ideas, all the conversations that we had, all the different stages on different products that we discussed about, put them until a final one that met your dreams.
Right.
And that's how we came up with this product that I think we both can be proud of, because there's no product out there like that. So
There
versatile.
isn't. Yeah.
And also in terms of quality. So I think it will be a great addition to the world of Magic. And not only on Magic, also for Flesh and Blood, I think, and Pokemon, whatever.
Any standard size trading
Any
card.
standard
That's the
size,
thing. It works. Magic is the biggest. I mean, in terms of deck size. So as long as it accommodates a triple sleeved commander deck, then everything else will fit, because nothing is larger than a triple sleeved. No game has that. There's no game that uses 200 standard sized cards in their deck. And I know a lot of people did feel that they wanted something that holds multiple decks, but I wanted to think of this more like a briefcase, where you have your filing cabinet at home of all your papers. You take the papers out that you need, you put that in your briefcase, and that's what you take in that day. And this is for that special deck. And while a lot of people do have 6, 7 commander decks, they also have that one special one. That one Locust God altar with the special tokens and the inner sleeves and whatever their special thing is. And that's the home for this one. That isn't the one that you just want among the other 10. This is the special favorite deck, or just what you're playing that particular night. So there's definitely products out there that are made for holding multiple decks. This was thought of as a singular from the start, but a singular for everyone.
Yes, it is, absolutely. And I think even if you have a couple of it, you can. They are still. We wanted also to have a product that is so versatile as we have designed it, but also fits in backpacks. Because you have many products which hold a lot of decks, but then how do you transport these products?
Right.
And with this size that we came up, you can do a lot of things. The drawers, for example, can be used for sleeve cards. This is meant to be used for sleeve cards. That's the reason why we have this magnetic flap here, so you have easy accessibility to the cards. Not only for tokens, but also could be for, if we're talking about Flesh and Blood, for blitz decks. You can put blitz decks inside, so you have 2 more blitz decks with you. And so we want to have a product that is not that big, that fits, even if you take 2 or 3 of them, fits in a backpack, and they will.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think that a lot of people are not clear on just what our creative cooperative relationship is, and why Kickstarter and not on the shelves of a local game store. And I think the main thing is that this isn't so much a Gamegenic member of the lineup as it is a box that I approached you as a designer to design. And then having designed it, I asked you as a company, Gamegenic, to manufacture it, because I know what Gamegenic's quality is, and I know what Gamegenic is capable of doing. And if I were to go to someone to produce this box that we have designed, it would be Gamegenic, not just because you're the lead designer there, but because of what I know Gamegenic is capable of. So that's why it's being kickstarted, is that I need to make the purchase from you of these boxes. We're going to find out how many people want them, and then I need to make that purchase through you of going to use your factories and manufacturing facilities to produce this box that I had you design for my viewers. And so that isn't something that is following the traditional onto the shelves system.
For us as Gamegenic, it is difficult to calculate the quantities on products that are not regular in our portfolio, not planned to be in our portfolio, at least at the beginning. So therefore, it is not easy. We have some MOQs to reach in the production line, and if these are not reached, the product goes even higher than that. The reason of Kickstarter, it's easy to explain. Usually we have a range of products in our portfolio. This would have meant a new addition to our portfolio with maybe other products competing with this product. And since it is difficult to calculate the quantities, we have with our production companies, with our suppliers, production quantities to reach. It was not possible for us to do it directly on shelf. We needed to have this Kickstarter to be sure this is a product that maybe in the future, maybe, because I think many will want to know if at some point it will be in the shelves. If this is a success, then we can talk about having this product in our original portfolio.
Well, I think you can't just say, oh, hey, there's this YouTuber who said he wishes there was a deck box that did this, so we made a deck box for this YouTuber. Now we're going to have to put it into every store in the world and tell the stores that they need to carry this and sell it to their customers. And that is not necessarily feasible. That you would add that to a lineup like that some store in England is going to be like, wait, why are we getting these Tolarian Community College deck boxes in that we have to carry and sell at this price and such? And also it's not your Kickstarter, it's my Kickstarter.
Yes,
I'm kickstarting it so that I can give you the money for the boxes to be manufactured and such, but it's you're not running the Kickstarter because you have your distribution system, but that does not necessarily mean that you're just going to create a vanity item and just put it into that distribution system. It's for me to distribute, and I am distributing. We've got 2 fulfillment centers in USA and Europe that is not Gamegenic, is not dealing with that. You're dealing with the transaction of I am buying this product from you, and then it is going to me, and then I am sending it to completely separate from Gamegenic fulfillment centers that will then be fulfilling to the many places, not all, but many that we are able to deliver to. And so this is not a part of that regular on-the-shelf system because it originated with, hey, Adrian, what if we design a deck box for me to sell to my viewers, not make something that stores would carry. Though it sounded like maybe one day stores could carry.
Maybe one day.
Maybe. It's a long process, though,
it's a
isn't
long
it?
process.
You have to convince way more people than you about that.
Yeah, it is the same process as when we design new products, or our own products, products in our range. We have a strategy which products we want to bring next. And this was out of our strategy. That's the reason, and it's your Kickstarter. So you are completely right with what you're saying. That are out of focus for us right now. But if this is successful, I think maybe local game store would be interested in that, and then you can convince me to have this in my line.
I will try. I will try. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it does. In that regard, I'm excited but also nervous. So you know I've told you some of my fears already, but that's not what this is about. I have a question for you, which is: do you think that this has tarnished my ability to review products now that we have worked together in this way? So we mentioned, or actually, I'm not going to be specific. I'm going to just say this. I know that there is a upcoming product from Gamegenic at some point in the future. And when that upcoming product comes out, I'm going to review it as I review every product that comes out. I know about upcoming products from other companies as well, as I'm in communication with them. What happens when I give your product an A in this hypothetical future? If I see your product, I say this is excellent, it's an A. Is that A no longer worth the same? Because people would say, well, of course he'd give Gamegenic an A. They did a Kickstarter together. Or
people might think of that, but I think the important thing to know here is that what's the most important part for us is your impartiality.
Right.
So otherwise it doesn't make any sense. So we are not sponsoring you. We are not paying even for the tags.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it is, and I never knew, and I will never ask, also in the future, what kind of rating we will get.
I won't tell. I don't ever tell. And that's another thing. I don't know if people know this, but I refuse to let any, because companies do send, not all of them, but many will send evaluation samples, which is very helpful. And they are in communication, or sometimes they just want to say, we want to let you know something new is hitting the shelves. And I will never show a video to any company ahead of it going live. I will never tell them what the rating is. I will just say, stay tuned, and that's all.
And that's the important part here. So, I will never ask, even though we are here sitting together or we have done this project together. This project was to make your dream come true, and then we will see after the Kickstarter if we are able to bring it in our own line. But that's all. That's your Kickstarter, and therefore it's important for us to continue as it was before. Us not knowing what you're rating, because we are pretty confident in the products that we design. And if at some point you give us a bad rating, which maybe it will happen, then we will listen to that. And as we with the playmates, then we will correct our mistakes if we did some.
Right.
So that's how it works, and that's how it should work.
Well, and also the one thing is that let's say you do come out with a future product, which you will, and let's say that future product maybe is a miss and is not that great, and then I were to take it and say, oh, this is excellent, this is an A+, and it's not, like anyone is tricked because everyone would see it.
Sure.
Because I show it, I use it, and you're going to see it in front of you, and you're going to say, that doesn't look good. Look, it bent the card there when he did that. It bent the card, or the paint scratched off, or who knows what. Not that that would happen, but it could. And if I were to just say, oh, that's an A, people would say, no, it isn't. It isn't an A. And so the thing is that I can say whatever I want to say, but as long as I show the product, test the product, and let the viewers decide, then again, my grade and evaluation is just that, my own, and what matters is theirs. And I think every company, I can't think of a single company, and that includes Ultimate Guard, back when you were at it, that hasn't gotten both a good and a bad grade. Because not everyone is perfect. It happens. Not everyone is perfect at everything. Dragon Shield, I've given bad grades to, not their sleeves, but other products of theirs. Ultra Pro, I've given good grades to, amazingly. And all of this, it's just going to come down to viewers being able to see for themselves, watch the videos, see every angle of every product and hear every detail and feature, and then think for themselves what they think, listen to what I say, and hopefully people can still trust me, even though I did decide, I wanted, how do I make a deck box? How can I do this? I can find a company that will stamp my logo on a plastic $5 box, which is fine. I'm not throwing shade against creators who do that. That's fine. I didn't want to do that. I could find a nice box, like something I like the Satin Tower, and ask Ultra Pro, can you stamp my logo on a Satin Tower? I thought about that at one point. And I just thought, I don't want to do that. And then also, how much is that Satin Tower going to cost then? Then it's going to cost 3 times as much, because Ultra Pro needs a cut. I need a cut. The people who are stamping it need a cut. And stuff. But I don't know how to design a deck box. And if I design a deck box, how do I contact a factory to manufacture it? And all of this. And so I just never thought it would happen. And then when I just heard that you had done so many of those products, can you design it? Yes. Can then you help me get into this company you're currently at, Gamegenic, and work on how we could maybe have this collaboration? But it's not anything that means, again, I'm paying you to manufacture the box. It's not, the Kickstarter money doesn't go to you. It goes to me. And then I take that money and give it to you to make the box.
Yes.
A year from now, maybe I don't like the box you make, and I'll let you know. Maybe I love the sleeve and I say it's better than Dragon Shield.
We will see.
We will see.
We will see. But
maybe not that last one, but we'll see. We'll see.
You just delivered the best example. On the best example that your reviews are not biased is when you have graded a product an A. People's experience with this specific product, even if it's Gamegenic or whatever, are as well an A experience. Otherwise, your credibility, you are doing this for 8 years right now. Otherwise, your credibility, no one would have heard of your ratings anymore, because if you are doing ratings that are biased, this wouldn't not have worked, because people would have known.
Right.
And that's the reason when I created Gamegenic, when I left my prior company to create Gamegenic, was the purpose, as I mentioned in the very beginning, to go to the next step, to go to the next level, to not stop on inventing, innovating stuff. And that's the reason I am with the team behind, because it's not only me. I got a big team of very, very talented people The guys, for example, that did the cinematic trailer for you, Christian, I say hello.
Yes,
Um,
that's actually very impressive. Is that those cinematic trailers were done by you in house?
yes.
And that was amazing. That was a lovely gift that you did. I will definitely admit that those cinematic trailers were amazing.
So and to continue, the thing with our products, with the philosophy that I put into Gamegenic, with my team behind, looking into details, questioning every single day ourselves, is this the best product that we can bring? Every single day. Sometimes we change things on the very last minute. For example, on your box, we were finished with this box. I sent you 5 samples, and then we found together something that we still can improve, and then we changed it.
Right.
And it's always like that with our Gamegenic products. We don't rely on, we know how to do it. We are experienced in this field for over 10 years right now, although Gamegenic exists since 3 years, but the experience is so much longer with all the standards in the industry that I put inside. So we are comfortable, and we know that at least we should have good ratings, because we, at least in our belief, and I think it's right, we are so experienced that we know what people might need. And therefore, again, I will never ask you for a rating. I never did that.
Because I would say no.
Because I was confident anyways that our products might be something.
Right. What is one thing that you have yet to create successfully, to bring to reality, that you have always dreamed of doing? Is there one thing that you still have not been able to create that you have wanted to?
There are a lot of things.
A lot of things.
My head is full of ideas. So
Yeah.
if I would put all the ideas on the table, then we will not finish, or the local game stores will go crazy with so many SKUs. So the strategy is to bring something to complete our portfolio that makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense in general. So the portfolio is a complete one without having products that are not needed. So therefore, I got a lot of ideas in my head, and some of them will see the light of the day at some point. But we always think what is needed, and we always try to understand what the people want. The important thing also is we try to not over-engineer our products. That's what we did also with your product. You can put 150,000 extra features on a box if you want. Sometimes crazy features that nobody needs.
Right.
But that's the point. It's doing something that has all the features that actually are needed for this game.
Right.
And if to bring back the thing that you said, putting just your logo on a box. If you have had a project, the first time we talked about it, we were in the first 5 minutes, we were pretty sure, the both of us, we are not doing just a logo on an existing box.
Right.
It's not what you want, and it's not what you want. If you have come to me,
Yes.
telling me put a logo on a box, I would have said, no, we're not doing that.
That's what, actually, now that you mention it, what really impressed me was, because I said to you, because we were in very early just spitballing stages, and I remember I said to you, I really love your deck box lineup, maybe on something like the Watchtower or Squire or what have you, or Sidekick. Maybe we can, I did say, maybe there's a way that we could put the logo on the flap. And you were like, why do we want to do this? Why do we want to do this? We want to go further than that. And I said, I do want to go further, but I don't know that it's possible. And so I did kind of say, maybe if everything else fails, we can just take the easy route of stamp the logo on. You wouldn't hear it. And I think a lot of people would be like, yeah, that's great. Let's just do that. And I remember thinking, I like that I'm going to work with this guy on designing the box, because he doesn't want to just stamp the logo on it.
No, with none of our products, we are working on several corporations. We have some licenses that we're working on, and also some that are unrevealed yet. We don't do stupid stuff. Stupid stuff for me is just putting a logo of someone, you or someone else, on our existing range and saying this is the official product for that. This is not something to enrich the community. You know what I mean? To
Yes.
enrich the community is to have something that they need. And with all your expertise that you have done all over the years, you were pretty clear on what you wanted. And why then putting a logo on an existing box? Let's do your box.
Let's do it.
And that was how we started with that.
And there was another thing that I said that I wanted, which is that if I am a modern player and I only have 75 double-sleeved cards, how do we make it so that the cards don't always fall over inside of the box? And you came up with something very special that we're going to
That's one more thing.
unveil here for the first time.
Yep.
We're going to have some close-up shots interspersed, but tell us a little bit about this, Adrian.
So if you think that the box we have designed together is the only thing innovative that we have done, well, I got to tell you, there's one more thing. Because we have here, when you take a look on it, it looks like a normal divider, but we call this product the size morph divider, because you can see on the side, this changes its size. So with that, you don't have any cards anymore that are falling down, or if you put in your box a deck box or whatever, and you want that this deck box doesn't fly around when you have it on your backpack, this is like an additional buffer for your cards. And since it's the same material as our dividers, it will not harm cards. It will not harm sleeve cards. It just compresses itself to the size it is needed for your deck. So you don't have any loose space anymore. We are very proud that this will be an add-on for the Kickstarter campaign, and this is the first time that it is presented.
Yes.
And it was also something that you asked for, to develop something really new, and we came up with this idea.
I really like it, and especially if you want and you use double-sleeved cards, sometimes there's air that
Yes.
needs to be pushed out, and being pushed up against this helps add a little bit of extra pressure, a little bit of extra tension. I mean, it's not too much, but enough so that it is good for helping in those early days with double-sleeved cards. So that's a really neat little addition to the Kickstarter as well.
There will be several add-ons. This is, of course, the most revolutionary ones. Again,
Right.
there's no product out there until today that can do what this product can do. But also in terms of Kickstarter, we thought of we will have add-ons and we will have packages, but we tried also here to be consistent in what is needed and what you have been asking through these years.
Yes.
Again, not putting products that nobody needs, features that nobody needs, over-engineered. So we will be bringing some add-ons, besides this one, that completes the experience with your own box and makes sense to have them if you have all of them. So that's what we have tried to do with the Kickstarter. I think it will be a very interesting Kickstarter to follow. You have thought of many ideas how to engage your community.
Oh, yes.
Because engaging your community was important for you. I think it's a great idea to do that. And there will be daily updates, there will be votings, there will be stretch goals. I think people will be happy to see what we thought of.
I'm definitely really excited for so much that we get to show off and unveil. Like I said, I feel like this is a once-in-a-lifetime event because nothing like this has happened before. And I have no idea if anything like this can ever happen again because it was over a year of work just to lead us to here, a lot of work. So there we are. And Adrian, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you.
And one last thing at the end. I've been thinking of an idea for something in terms of a portfolio for storing cards that doesn't exist. And I have this really, really good idea for what portfolios should do specifically. Now, this is specific to Magic the Gathering players. And I think that there is something that is missing from portfolios made for Magic the Gathering players. And I'm wondering with this idea, do you think I should go to Ultra Pro or BCW?
Challenge accepted.
Good stuff, good stuff. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
So
I was not talking too much.
no. It's very good, very good.
I hear him talk all the time.
Yeah.